Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, we're having to readjust everything around here.
We had to wake up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Checotah, Oklahoma, and we had a little bit of a delay.
A lighting delay.
A lighting, not a lightning, but a lighting delay. We had problems with the light on the far side. The visitor side would come on for just a few minutes and then they would shut off. And so they had to get that all worked out. They got some electricians out here with some 2x4s. And you think I jest, but no, they actually had 2x4s. And we're working on the lights. But we are up and running now, so we are just a bit behind. We're actually almost an hour behind. So
by the time we kick it off, it's going to be right at an hour.
Right.
You can see there Checotah's about to storm the field. We haven't seen Seminole this whole delay.
yeah, we've seen kind of Checotah has peaked in and out, but we have not seen Seminole.
The Chieftains of Seminole.
The Chieftains of Seminole. So we did our pregame, which seems like forever ago, was actually 2 hours ago.
Was it yesterday morning we did that?
Boy, I tell you what. But let's kind of recap, Brian. It's a huge playoff implications right here. And, I mean, not only district positioning, but the loser of this game could very well not make the playoffs,
yep.
even with 2 losses.
Yeah, that district, I know we've talked about it almost ad nauseum for about the last 2-3 weeks, but it is a monster. And there is a team that's going to be sitting at home from this district that is good enough to make a run deep into the playoffs. And they'll be hitting the basketball floors earlier than what they probably should.
Right, and that's what's, I don't want to say sad about it, but that's just kind of the way the game's played.
Yeah.
You have Lincoln Christian, Stigler,
Idabel,
and Checotah all have 1 loss in the district. And then you have Seminole that has 2 losses. Seminole lost to Stigler, and they lost to Idabel. Checotah lost to Stigler, but beat Idabel. And then Stigler and Idabel are playing tonight. So that, in fact, we could probably pull up Squirtle right now on my new iPhone X Max, which I just got and I love. So let's pull up Squirtle right here. Squirtle is one of our partners along with OK Preps. And let's see if we don't have a score yet for that Idabel game, because that means a lot on this one. Locust Grove is actually ahead of Cassia Hall. That's one to keep an eye on. That's at halftime. And 22-14 at halftime, Idabel leads Stigler. So, wow, that's going to cause a shakeup right there.
You know, once, and this is no slight to the other teams in the district, but once Stigler finishes tonight, win or lose, their hay's going to kind of be in the barn because they finish off against the bottom 2 teams. So I know we talked about this earlier in the week, but it seems to me that if I was to look at those before the game tonight, the most comfortable team in, I would say, would be Stigler.
Right, and I agree with you there because Stigler has beat both of these teams here tonight.
Yep.
And Stigler's in. They're pretty much in. If it comes to tiebreaker points, they're in.
So now we're talking about 4 for 3, or 3 for 4. Three teams for 4 spots.
You know, and we were talking
14.
about this, and I don't remember if we talked about it on air, but I don't know that I would want to have to play one of these teams at home in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, those are. It's going to be a tough draw for somebody on their own home field to have to play one of these teams from this district.
And we have the national anthem playing.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the class of Checotah High School marching band under direction.
Well,
and leadership
and
of
what we were
Mr. Jim
talking about
Davis.
was the third and fourth seed is out of this district, or the finishers will have to travel.
Yep.
And more likely they're going to travel to Locust Grove, will be one of them. And I'm not real sure that if I'm Locust Grove, I'm not real sure I want any of these
They
guys.
can't be thrilled about it. And we get our first glimpse of the Chieftains of Seminole since the our pregame taping. To be a fly on the wall in that locker room during this delay with that I don't know, for lack of a better cliche, that wily old veteran coach.
You know, I was thinking about that, and you know, he's a cool cucumber. I mean, Mike Snyder, I bet he's a fantastic poker player.
Yeah. He's figured out a way to spin this to his advantage. You don't coach for 40 plus years and not have seen anything, and he's been around the proverbial block, so to speak.
Right, and I have no doubt that he will have these guys ready to go. I'm trying to get my EQ dialed in right here. That's a little better. So waiting on the Wildcats, and I don't know if they're waiting on the Chieftains to come out. So our game time looks like it's going to be about 8:35 is when we will kick off. You know, one thing, Brian, is neither one of these teams had school tonight or today. So then you wonder about, they not only have sat around and kind of got out of their normal routine, now they sit in a locker room for an hour just waiting on the lights to come back on.
Yeah, and athletes are creatures of habit. You know, coaches even more so. You know, they like the routine. They like to keep things kind of familiar. So this is a little bit of a curveball, an onside kick maybe in parlance.
Oh, easy with the fancy words there, Brian. We don't use them fancy words around here.
Hey man, it's my mission to add culture where there is none. Would you consider me a cultured individual?
Cultured as in like one of those things they grow in like one of those little petri dishes? Most definitely. Didn't expect that one, did you?
Like penicillin,
Penicillin.
You might say. A cure-all.
A cure-all. Yes. Yep. And the captains are out on the field.
The 25-second clock will be kept down on the field.
And they just announced the 25-second clock will be kept by the officials. I think that's one of the problems, was when they turned the 25-second clock on, the lights came off or went off.
So please, if you're listening here in the stadium, do not plug in your phones.
Do not. Stay away from all electrical outlets. Luckily, Bravado rocks a big old Generatic generator. All right, so our captains for Checotah is number 4, Kate Shropshire. Number 56 is Chase Wren. Number 21 is Colin Roberts, and of course number 2 is Zion Nichols, that's injured.
For the Seminole Chieftains, we got number 20, Joey Harrison. Is that 52? That is Jerome Hilton. 89. That is our man Mark Buford. And we're missing one.
Is that 52?
Oh, I got 52 already.
52. All right.
No, last time we saw Seminole, it was in less than ideal conditions.
It was a very wet conditions, and I believe that last one we're missing was
number 5, maybe.
Number 5 would be
Chico Baker.
Chico Baker. I remember
Baker.
Chico. He had a nice game at Roland. Yes, had a good defensive game.
Yeah, when he was the backup tailback. When Gunville finally got his 350 yards, he had another 110 or so.
So the Chieftains will be kicking and the Wildcats will be receiving. But yeah, let's go back to that game in Roland. It was it rained about, goodness gracious, 6 inches, and the field held up really well to be a grass field, but the Chieftains just ran wild. They racked up over 400 yards rushing. And
buddy, you've been coaching for 40 years, and you're probably going to hear me say that about 40 more times tonight, but you probably have a table with, if there's this much rain, these are the cleats we use.
Right.
If it's raining during the game on a natural field, these are the cleats we want to use. So he's probably got a table in his office, a chart, telling him what kind of shoes to pack.
Right. And the Chieftains come out. Now, I do want to address this field, Brian, is walking out on this field earlier. It's very spongy. Yeah. And it really kind of caught me by surprise. But this field is it's real soft. I'm not saying loose soft, but it's just, yeah, it's got a real spongy feel to it. And here comes the hometown Wildcats.
You know, isn't high school football wonderful? I mean, I know we're about an hour behind, but the last time we were here in Checotah, it was expected to be a big blowout, and ultimately it turned out one. And this, for the rivalry, it was packed to the gills. Tonight, there's some empty seats left. So if you're listening at home in Checotah, or if you just want to see a good football game, hurry up. If you looked up at the clock and said, "Oh, I'm not going to make it for kickoff," good news. It's just now about to kick off.
If you just got done with dinner, come on out, grab you some popcorn, and watch this ball game, or grab you a cup of coffee and sit at home and watch it. So we will gather up to kick off, and kicking off for the
Chieftains.
The Chieftains is Jackson Smith, I do believe.
Back deep for the Wildcats are our guy Jet Fisher, and it looks like 33 back there.
And before we forget, I want to welcome all of our Seminole Chieftain faithful that's watching at Seminole and the surrounding areas. We are picking up the Seminole broadcast video people are picking up our broadcast. Adam Baker and Company with all that group. They do a tremendous job, and they're great people. So we thank them for picking up our broadcast. And the game is underway. A fair catch was called, but it will bounce. And
that's odd.
They, Colin Roberts called for the fair catch, and it went over his head, and then they tried to advance it. But I think if you call a fair catch, it's a dead ball.
Yeah.
So the Wildcats will take over, and
now let's see if Checotah's offensive line can stand up a little bit better than Roland to those defensive ends, because those defensive ends wreaked havoc from Seminole in Roland that night.
You know, I'm going to make a off-the-wall observation here. There were hash marks before it rained earlier. There's no hash marks now. I was out on the field running cables. So, all right. Shotgun formation. Fisher right beside him. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the bottom. Shropshire's going to flip. Fisher's going to flip. Shropshire looking to pass. He's going to go deep, and oh my goodness, it's caught off the deflection. That's Barrett. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, and touchdown, Checotah. Holy cow. It should have been an interception picked off. Was that Hunter Wirtz on the that had the deflection?
Sabian Battles, number 10.
Excuse me, Sabian Battles bounces off Battle's hands.
He looked like the intended receiver, and it just came right off his hand.
Wow, Brian, what a great concentration by Barrett. What great footwork by the quarterback, Shropshire. Swinging gate formation. And that's it, because
apparently they moved it.
Shropshire is the center and moved the ball. And Seminole jumped on top of it. And I guarantee you that's something that they saw in film.
Yep.
That he moves the ball. Because what he does, he doesn't just necessarily snap it. He flicks it over to his left.
Yep.
And
almost like an option pitch.
Right. So what he did when he picked up the ball, it's a live ball.
Yep. And the center, 89 there, the nose guard in that deal was also their middle linebacker, Mark Buford. He jumped on it. There we go.
There we go.
If we've got a replay on that, I'd like to see that.
And that again, that's a crafty veteran coach on the other side, Mike Snyder. You've been around as long as he has. You pick up on those little tendencies.
You know, going back to the interception, that the night we were enrolling, and we kind of chalked it up to the elements, but Battle had a few drops that night.
He did, and but I guess what's the old adage? You're playing defensive back and not wide receiver for a reason.
Well, he plays wide receiver, though. That's where he had his drops at.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I'm mentioning it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Coach, maybe we need to get this young man some stickum, but he's probably kicking himself right now for that.
Well, you know, it's that next play philosophy. I know as disappointed as Coach Snyder was in that young man, I'm pretty sure he said, hey, that's behind you. You made a mistake. Get past it. Don't let one mistake turn into two.
Oh, most definitely.
And he's got him right back out there returning kicks now. So he caught that one clean.
Caught that one, right. So Battles will advance the ball up a little bit.
And Seminole's going to set up shop, what, about the 33, 34?
Looks in that territory. So they'll set up on the 34. That kind of tickles me because there were hash marks.
Yeah, the thing about that first play is that he had a lot of time to throw the ball.
He had a lot more time than what I would expect.
Yeah.
And it's like Seminole was a little shocked that they were passing. All right, empty backfield. Lone quarterback is Hammond. Hammond's going to throw it, and he throws it short. So
one hopped in.
One hopped it on that one.
Looking for our man Gunville right there.
So Cade Hammond comes out slinging as well, and that is incomplete.
Well, Battle of the Cades tonight. How about
Battle
that?
of the Cades, yes, sir. Will be empty backfield once again, and it looks like almost like a two tight end set on the bottom of your screen. Three wide receiver. High snap. He's going to look over to his left, and he's got
his man
Battles. Excuse me. Yes, got Battles. Savian Battles, junior wide receiver.
They're giving the receivers from Seminole, the Checotah defense is giving them a nice cushion. It's as far back as we've seen that 11 several times this year, and I've never seen him back off that much. So they've got some respect for that passing game.
All right, Gunville, handoff straight up the middle. Gunville, such a strong runner. Going to pick up 5 yards on that one. First time Gunville was lined up in a backfield.
Yeah, that's what I like most about it. He's decisive. He puts his foot in the ground, and he's getting north-south. He's not east-west too much.
No, Gunville is a goalpost-to-goalpost runner.
He's that one-cut runner like you see people talk about. You got one cut.
Shotgun formation, single back, 3 wide receivers up top. Gunville is your lone tailback. Hammond back to pass, looking, can't find anybody, scrambles to his left, looking still downfield, chunks it way deep. He's got a wide receiver, and They're going to call pass interference, I believe, on Howard. And
I don't know if it was on Howard or the other one, 11 there.
So the intended receiver was Easton Works.
And that wasn't Gunville in the backfield, Eric. That was 28 back there with him. Oh, yeah, it was. I thought Gunville was 20 for some reason. That is. That's my mistake. No, they sure did. They didn't call it on 11. They called it on 14. Connor Jenkins.
Connor Jenkins, the strong safety. 3 wide receivers on the bottom. Hammond, your quarterback. And he's going to hand off to Gunville. Gunville's got some room on the right side. And he will still battle. He's trying to get that first down. Looks like he's going to pick up about 9 yards on that.
I don't know who that was. We got who grabbed it? They had the jersey. And Gunville, they were
going to let him go.
Almost slingshotting him, you know. They were going around in circle for a little bit.
I
don't know that I've ever seen that.
I think that was Barrett. Gunville was not going to go down. Picks up 8 yards on the play. No, excuse me, 9. Give him 9.
He latched on to that jersey at about the 4-yard mark.
2 wide receivers on bottom, 1 top. Gunville, the lone tailback. Hammond looks back to pass. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man and just out of his reach. And that was our man Battles right there.
And that was the first time that Checotah showed a blitz look and came. They brought that left outside linebacker straight in. He came untouched.
So 2 more predominantly rushing teams, and we've seen them put it in the air.
Yep. That's what makes these teams so good, though. They can do both. They're comfortable playing both styles.
I would call that a long I formation, and that's basically what it is. Hands off to Gunville, and Gunville
put the ball
loses the ball.
He
but
said he was down.
Yeah,
they called it down.
I believe forward progress is going to get him. And that's what the call is, but it looks like they're going to try to measure.
I believe he's going to be.
Yeah, we're at such an angle here. We're almost on the opposite 40, so we don't have a great angle. Cameramen are doing a good job there.
I think he's got this by half a football.
We'll see here, and just by the boy, we're talking centimeters.
Yeah, that ref take his credit card out and get that measurement.
And so this will bring up 4th and inches.
An inch.
Yeah, 4th and inch. Yeah, it's not even inches, it's inch. He's spotting the ball back there. This young man right here, 56, your center.
He's got a cast.
Sporting a cast. Boy, that's a trooper right there. All right, and I would expect a hard count.
It's offset pistol.
Offset pistol formations. Going to hand it to Gunville.
And he got it.
He got it on the second effort. He got hit in the backfield.
Was that our guy Fisher there with the hit? He came flying around the corner.
Well, I think they're going to mark him short.
Yeah, it doesn't look like.
Wow, Brian, I didn't expect. I thought he bounced off. Maybe
I did too.
His knee must have hit before he spun around.
I remember, folks, all he needed was an inch.
Ooh, he actually
he
lost
4.
He lost a couple inches. Wow. So maybe we'll see that on a replay here coming up, and we'll get another look at that. But well, I certainly thought he spun, but I guess he dropped a knee on that one.
Yep. They had that scouted pretty good. They know that Seminole likes to run off that right side, and Fisher came tearing through there and just got a piece of him.
Well, the rolling game, they predominantly ran off the right. So Shropshire quarterback, Fisher running back, is going to hand off to Fisher this time. Fisher straight up the gut, spins to his left, and gets tripped up by number 20. That would be Joey Harrison.
Joey Harrison making the
But
tackle.
Fisher's going to pick up 7 on that one.
The 7 yards on the play, second down and 3.
Seminole, you can hear the drums chant over there.
They're in the cover
Fake
zero.
to Fisher, and Shropshire is going to keep it. I'm sorry, Brian, what were you saying?
They're basically in a cover zero look. They're not afraid of the receiver Jet. You know, they're not giving Battle any help over the top.
First down run by Shropshire. Shropshire in the backfield with Fisher set to his right.
Okay, now they walk the safety out.
And hand off to Fisher to the left side. Got a little bit of room. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the run. And just kind of opposite of what Seminole does, Brian. Checotah runs downhill on the left.
Yep.
Of course, on the left side, you have the big Tyler Whitlock and Chase Wren.
They're going with a little bit of tempo here.
3 wide receiver on the bottom, 1 on top. Fisher remains in the backfield with Shropshire. And we'll hand off to Fisher on the right side. Bounces to the out. Bounces further to the outside, and a little collision there.
That's great pursuit by Seminole because the defensive end got hooked on this side. The tackle 77 from Checotah there did a good job of getting that end hooked. Watch him hook him. Took him out of the play, washed him back inside.
Right. And it's Buford right there at 89 with the pursuit from the outside linebacker. And we talked about this in pregame. These linebackers are very disciplined for Seminole. And if you have some young people watching this game, really watch this linebacking core. Very well coached. And Shropshire is going to call his own number, trying to get the short yards. Almost looked like he hit the wrong hole there.
Yeah, that's a straight quarterback dive. They're running behind that big tackle again.
That time they were trying to sneak in behind Todd Lackey, and that's going to be short.
So now we're on 4th and short again.
Let's see what the Wildcats do. The ball is placed at their own 47-yard line.
I don't think there was ever a doubt.
So 4 wide receivers spread out. Shropshire's going to hand off to Fisher. Fisher looking around the left. Not going to get it, Brian.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Not going to get it. I don't think he gained a yard.
No, he's short. The ball's going to go over to Seminole here on downs.
So both teams have gambled on 4th down, and both have
4th
lost.
and very short.
Right. And the official's going to call a timeout. They carried the ball way over here to spot it. That was odd.
Yeah.
So let's see how this sets up.
We have an official's timeout for the measurement.
I'm going to stretch it out and do not get it.
I think some folks from Checotah disagree with the spot there.
I think the radio and the coaching staff down here on this floor
Take over on those.
in the press box don't agree with that spot, but I actually think they gave him a little more than what he got.
I didn't think it was close. I thought he had lost almost a full yard.
I did too. I didn't think he was that close. So Seminole will take over Checotah's 47-yard line. A chilly football night here in Checotah, America, made famous by, at the last, Kerry Underwood. Hammond barks out signals, is going to hand it to Gunville. Gunville up the middle. Look at him go. He's got all kinds of speed.
He gone.
And not going to touch him. So just like that, 47 yards later, Seminole has tied it up.
Boy, that was a huge hole. Watch the center work.
Yep.
He got a little piece of that nose guard, pushed him into the guard, and then climbed to the linebacker.
I tell you what, Gunville, his explosiveness is just unreal.
If he was the second guy, Eric, I sure would have liked to see the first guy.
No doubt. So setting up for the extra point, and
a southpaw kicker.
Southpaw kicker. It is good, and just like that, Seminole Chieftains are in the lead, 7-6, with, I can't see the clock or the pole my way.
About 5:50 left.
Something 31 seconds.
6:31 on the clock.
6:31 left on the clock. Those poles are.
Hey, baby, we're in Checotah. All you got to do is open the door up and see what's on the clock.
Open the door. Well, that's what happened right there. They opened the door, and that was Cameron Gunville, busted for a 47-yard touchdown run.
And untouched.
I don't think anyone touched him.
Well, the quarterback did.
Quarterback touched him.
So now we're right back pretty much to where we started the game off. Seminole kicking it off.
And I would expect them another pooch kickoff. There you got a good shot of Mr. Gunville. That's a great football name, by the way.
Yes. I'm of the opinion that to be a great athlete, you have to have either a unique name or a plain name.
Right. Right.
Think about it. Troy Aikman.
Barry Sanders
Yes.
comes to mind. Another high kick. This one will be fielded and advanced up the left side. Got a little bit of room, and looks like it'll be pushed out of bounds about the 38-yard line. Oh, and we have a flag.
I think Seminole reacted to something we couldn't see in the scrum, but I think Seminole's about to lose, or Checotah's about to lose 15 yards.
Officials will talk about it. And I believe coming out last was
it's on Seminole. So they're going to gain 15 yards of field position. Hang on. Yep, they're going to call it on Checotah.
right. I believe that's number 33, Luke Collette.
You could see the linesman, the head linesman there come in and say, my bad, my bad, my bad. So they'll set up shop about the 33.
Yep, and that's a shame because that was good field position, and I think Collette got mixed up in the Seminole sideline there and probably got
23, I'm sorry.
It was 23?
No, the 23-yard line.
23-yard line. So we'll set up on the 23-yard line. Checotah will come out 4 wide receivers.
Trips to the bottom here.
3 on the bottom, 1 on top. Fisher is still your tailback. Shropshire will take the snap, hand off to Fisher, and immediately is attacked in the backfield by a bunch of white jerseys with green pants. And I believe Seminole has dialed in. I didn't.
That's our man Buford.
Buford, Johnson, Caden Johnson's 21, linebacker. So actually I'm going to call it a 2-yard loss, so now brings up 2nd and 12.
Show him blitz. Here comes
Shropshire's
Buford.
gonna pass.
Good
Scrambles
protection.
to his right, looking downfield. He's got a man, and it's Barrett. Barrett in the open field. He jukes, battles, and
touchdown saving.
Touchdown saving grab.
20 right there.
That was by Joey Harrison, the defensive back, but Battles got juked out of his shorts there after the catch. Great job by the Checotah wide receivers to stay alive.
Yep, scramble drills. You saw the one in the replay there. He turned upfield and went deep, and the deep guy started working back to his quarterback. Barrett there, real heads up.
And those are your seniors, and this time heading off to Fisher up the left, well, kind of off the left side of just a hair. He will pick up 2 yards, and this will bring
Big
up
number 4 there on the stop from Seminole. Oh, now there's a football name right there, buddy. Thunder Lena.
and
Not to be confused with Thumbelina.
we called Mr. Lena's name quite a bit in that Roland game. So they're going to give him a yard, brings up 2nd and 9. And Shropshire will keep it this time, straight up the gut, and will dive and pick up about 5 yards and should bring up 3rd and 4.
The last two snaps, Seminoles dropped in a linebacker on the tailback side. Number 4 is lined up on the same side on the line of scrimmage with Fisher.
So Lena is your spy on Fisher. And hand off to Fisher, straight up the gut. Fisher will get, maybe a yard at the most. And that will bring up 4th and, he really didn't pick up much, so we're going to call it 4th and 4.
Yep.
And I think you're very correct on that. Wherever Fisher moves for Checotah, Lena is mirroring his set. Lena, the linebacker, shifts out on the outside.
Barrett in motion.
Barrett in motion, going to fake the jet sweep. Flips it out to Fisher, wide open in the flat. And he's down the sideline and touchdown just like that. And they had 2 linebackers coming. Lena was coming. And defensive end got sucked in. And
that's a good play call. They saw him dropping that in there, and they said, well, let's see what happens if we run him under that guy.
All right, so watch the snap by Shropshire, who is the center. He will back out now. Looks like they will kick it.
No, I think they're going to go for 2.
I believe you are correct, sir. So pistol formation. They shift back up. Man in motion, going to fake it. And Shropshire keeps it and will not get in.
I don't think that time Shropshire wasn't decisive at the mesh point. He held that ball for a really long time trying to figure it out.
It's almost like he was unsure. I don't know if he was unsure of the play call. Yeah.
A flag on the play.
We do have a flag. False start by Checotah, so.
Yeah, it's got to be an illegal formation.
Illegal formation, yeah. Okay. So I'm glad they're using yellow flags tonight. They were using the pink flags last week. They were tough to see. So Checotah up 12-7, but I wonder if those 2 points will come back and haunt them.
Explosive plays too. All the scoring has been done from more than 40 yards out.
Yes, you're correct. Now so here we go, 12-7, and we have 3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Checotah will now kick off.
He's not taking a very good. Is this going to be an onside?
I believe it's going to be a high pooch, and it is.
Well, you almost want a fair catch that one because he gave up a lot of field position there.
I was having the replay of the Idabel game last week.
More than anything, I mean, he caught that and his momentum was carrying him backwards. He lost 8 yards, Yeah.
If he would have fair caught it, he probably would be sitting close to the 38. But now they'll set up on the 31-yard line of their own territory. Seminoles had 2 possessions, scored on 1, and that was their second possession. Their first possession, they had a turnover on downs in Checotah's territory. But let's see, they've got Battles in the backfield along with Gunville. So 2 running back, Battles goes in motion. Hammond barks out signal. Hammonds is going to roll to his right just a hair, throws it deep. He has a man open. and underthrows it. It's going to be picked off. And picked off by
Barrett.
Was that Barrett?
Yep. Barrett was back there. We got more flags on the play.
More flags.
That ball was thrown about 10 yards short.
He had a man open deep and just underthrew it. Had a lot of air underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost like a punt.
Yeah, he had who was the wide receiver there?
17.
Wirtz. So a penalty on the Checotah Wildcats.
Illegal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. That'll back him up. And the ball will now be spotted at the 45-yard line. So first turnover of the night, and it comes the Seminoles a kind of a short pass by Hammond. He was trying to hit Wirtz, who was actually open.
Yep. Barrett picked up a knock on that return. He's got a little limp.
4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Shropshire takes snaps, going to pass. Wow, blitz coming. Shropshire puts it on a rope, and Howard catches it, tight ropes it out to the 20.
He was the slot receiver and ran a little wheel route. The cornerback on that side, and I'm having trouble catching his number. He thought he had an 88 maybe. He thought he had a play on it. Watch him squat. He thinks he's going to get it, and then, he squatted right there. And
Barrett slipped out, Howard. But, man, the blitz was coming. Shropshire did a good job standing there, and this time he will hand off to Fisher. Fisher will gain nothing.
Yeah, that blitz was the middle linebacker, Buford. And Fisher, he got blown up, but he did just enough to give his quarterback time to throw that ball.
I think Seminoles' defense has cranked it up just a notch on bringing some pressure. They seem a lot more active. But, you know, if you remember back in the Roland game, we said the only weak spot we saw with Seminole was their defensive backfield. Short pass, this time to Roberts. Roberts, the tight end, out in the flat, and he will be close to a first down. And he will have the first down, pick up 11 yards.
Just ran a simple little out right there.
Something we've seen, we've covered Checotah. This is our 4th time this year. And already Shropshire has spread the ball around a little bit more than what he normally has.
Yep.
So 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Shropshire calls out signals, and he will keep it himself after he does a little zone read and gains nothing.
84 was the first one there. Big Jared Stewart.
Shropshire on the option. No gain on the play, 2nd down 10.
No gain on the play by Shropshire. Everyone looks over and gets to play. Same set, 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Seminole is bringing the pressure and slips out to the right side. Fisher, bam, and kind of rolls into the end zone right over Hunter Wirtz.
He did the Conor McGregor strut.
I tell you, that was I believe it was the first time that Fisher's ran to the right.
Yep. There's a little counter.
Swinging gate once again. And this
Buford
time
got just enough of him.
Yep. Pushes the score 18-7. And first quarter, I tell you what, Brian, heck of a game first quarter, 1:51 to go in the first quarter. A lot more offense than I thought, but we have a nice chess match going on between Coach Hendricks of Checotah and Mike Snyder of Seminole.
They're going to be able to.
Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello, hello, hello. Yee.
against a really, really good Checotah team, kind of looking at staying home for the playoffs, looking you right in the eyes. So how many times have these kids been in that position is my question.
Well, most definitely, you know, the last 2 weeks, you wonder if that's sitting in the back of their mind that they've been so close and haven't been able to close out the game. But at the same time, it's in the first quarter, and you have one of the best running backs in the state in Gunville. And onside kick, and it's going to be recovered easily by number 34, and that Nolan Decker. So Decker covers the ball up, and the Seminoles will have the ball right squarely on the, just on the south side of the 50, or I guess that would be the west side of the 50. So in all purposes, we'll call it the 50. Gunville will come out, set in the pistol behind Hammond. 3 wide receivers, tight end. Hand off to Gunville. Gunville bounces to the right. He's got some room. Oh, nice seal block there, and he's off to the races on the right side. I tell you what, not only is Gunville a good runner, those wide receivers are doing a heck of a job blocking.
20 yards downfield, man.
And I tell you what,
watch this little cut right here gets him 8 extra yards.
If you look at it there, the star defensive player for Checotah, 21 Roberts, got caught up in traffic and unable to make a play on Gunville. Pistol formation, trips to the bottom. Snap is low, and Hammond will keep it, running on the sweep to the right. Very headsy play by the senior quarterback for Seminole.
Turned nothing into something there.
You know, that's both ball clubs, senior quarterbacks, well-coached teams. Shotgun formation. Gunville set to the left of Hammond. Hammond barks out signals, going to pass it, looking to his left, and he has a man. Trying to see who it was.
Number 5.
That was number 5, Chico Baker. The man Chico.
And again, we touched on Fisher giving his quarterback time to throw that little wheel route. Just right there, Gunville stepped in and cleaned the blitz up. Fisher came off the edge on a blitz, and he stepped right in there on blitz pickup and stoned him.
So with 16 seconds, is it 16 on the clock out there? And
1:16.
A minute 16 in the first quarter. Checotah's going to take a timeout and going to try to figure this out. So obviously the defensive coaches for Checotah sees a adjustment that needs to be made or is not being made.
He's talking to all 3 levels of the defense there. He's talking to the down linemen, the linebackers, and the defensive backs.
So as they break the timeout huddles, we'll see what the Seminole offense has dialed up here.
Ball's on the 18.
Ball is placed on the 18-yard line. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receiver. Gunville in the backfield. And Hammond's going to throw it out to the flat and has a man. I believe that's Chico.
Number 5. There's Chico.
And our man, Chico Baker, will take a short, flat. Boy, he was just a drop pass right there. Wow, 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 wow. Great. Missed tackle there, and that was number 14, Connor Jenkins. Jenkins missed tackle, and Chico Baker did the rest of the work. So an 18-yard pass, and just like that, We are still in the first round of this slugfest, and
Boy, he almost got a piece of that.
Almost.
Who was that coming off the edge? Barrett?
so a 4-point ball game. Checotah Wildcats up 18-14. Here's your ball game, Brian. I mean, you said it was going to be a horrible game, and tried a little reverse psychology there.
They don't call me blowout shows for nothing, baby.
So let's check out some scores on Squirtle real quick. Idabel 29, Stigler 22 in the fourth quarter. Inola 23, J 21. These are 3A scores. And Lincoln Christian has whipped up on Altmulgee. So that's the couple of scores that we're really concerned with. There's a few tomorrow. But the Idabel Stigler score is what we really need to keep an eye on. And Locust Grove is beating Cassia Hall 20-14. So that's another one we need to keep a close eye on.
Man, that's in the fourth quarter. We got 18-14 here.
Right.
They're slacking.
We're hitting our quota of points already.
But usually by now it's one team has 32 and the other team has 0.
Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of blowouts. Another high kick, and it will be fielded.
About the 24, 25. Uh-oh.
Got a little bit of room down the right side, and another flag. Wow. Holy cow, the whole team caught up to him and jumped on him.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm serious. There was like 6 white jerseys that literally just jumped on top of him.
Is that 33?
That is 33 Collette, and nice move by Collette there. And be holding on the Wildcats. They just can't seem to get out of their way on those returns.
I guess one of the injuries for Seminole had to be, because I can't remember that other defensive end, but 40 wasn't their defensive end when we watched them over in Roland.
Well, they've had some injuries. And I think you're right. Coach Snyder said there were some injuries, and Derek Wolf, I mean, he was in there quite a bit.
Yeah, yes. His number was in the 80s, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think he got a lot of. He was in there quite a bit. Handoff Fisher. Fisher's not going to get anything. So brings up 2nd and 10, and they're certainly keen on Fisher.
Yeah, they're not going to get beat with the running game. All the success. I guess not all. They did score on that run, but they've had more success through the air than they have on the ground, especially between the tackles.
You've got 2 good linebackers sitting in there. Wolf is on defensive end, and Wolf gets a push, throws out to his right, and
it's that same little out to the tight end there.
To Colin Roberts. Well, I think they have a mismatch.
Well, Seminole's sitting in the zone, and at some point, 10's got to come up and make a play a little bit quicker there, because they're clearing Barrett out on a post, like he scored on at the very beginning, but Battle is sitting there, so it's a zone. He's got to see that tight end a little bit earlier.
Well, the last 2 times he's been matched up with Caden Johnson, a 21 outside linebacker.
Yeah,
I think there's a little bit of a mismatch. Johnson and Roberts are fairly about the same size.
Yeah. Because both times that they've run that, Barrett has run a post across the free safety, and Battle didn't go with him. So they have shown man-to-man, and when they you can tell it when they've changed their defense from zone to man, because Battle travels with our guy Barrett. He got him in the slot. when they're in man-to-man.
So they flip the field. Wildcats have it on their 45-yard line. 3rd and 4. 4 wide receivers, trips to the bottom. Shropshire takes steps, going to roll to his left.
He's
and
got out again. He's wide open.
He's got Roberts open, and Roberts will.
That's 23 there.
Oh, it sure was. That was Hunter Hamilton.
He's the inside receiver of the trips formation, and the two outside guys just ran goes, and he just ran out under him.
So that will pick up a first down. That's about a 6-yard gain.
Now they balanced their formation back out. They've got 2 receivers to the top, 2 receivers to the bottom.
2 top, 2 bottom, and Colin Roberts sits in the slot in the top. Fisher, your backfield, in your backfield. Hands off to Fisher around the left side. He's got some room. Oh, goodness. Brian, if he makes a cut back to the inside, that's gonna be a big gain.
Yeah.
But Seminole's defense did a nice job, pushed him to the outside.
Our man Thunder right there on the stop. He caught that tackle, though. He didn't. He was kind of there, and Fisher didn't try to avoid him.
So Fisher picks up 3 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 7. The ball is on the 40, about a 46.5-yard line, close to the 47. Tied in this time, man in motion, is going to fake. No, he flips it to Howard, number 11. Howard's got some room to run, cuts back up middle, gets flipped. And about a 15-yard gain by Howard.
The easiest completion that Shropshire will have all night is just that little pop pass.
Yep.
He gets forward. He gets credit for a forward pass there.
And I thought Shropshire kept it. I tell you what, nice job by Lackey, the big offensive lineman. He pulled up so Howard could scoot in front of him.
Yep. And Fisher was the lead blocker on that. He cleaned out that corner.
Barrett in motion this time, and we'll fake it to Barrett, hand off to Fisher, straight up the gut.
84 wasn't fooled there.
He wasn't fooled at all. He said, no, sir.
Our guy, Jared Stewart.
And nice play by Stewart because he looked Barrett up and down and then went after Fisher.
Checotah's, after that first drive, they've added the wrinkle. They've put in, there's been more guys in motion. I think that's helping the quarterback see if he's got zone or man coverage.
3 wide receiver, tight end. Got a hand off to Fisher. Nope, he keeps it and trying to throw it. One arms it, or well, of course he went to one. But I mean, he was not free. He was being drugged down.
Yeah, he just kind of threw that one away. And Seminole got lucky there because the defensive back slipped, and Howard was coming wide open. Shropshire just didn't have time to get him. The last 2 plays, 84. Now Stewart was a starter the last time we watched him.
Yeah, very nice job by Stewart of putting pressure on Shropshire. 3rd and 10 now for the Wildcats. They back out and look for signals. Once again, we don't have a play clock to look at because the play clocks have gone down.
Again, everything's on the table for Checotah. They could have run it there.
Looks to his right. He's got a man open and nearly intercepted. And I believe we're going to get a holding call or a face mask call. Let's see.
Illegal hands to the face.
Illegal hands to the face. Because
sometimes that's on the defense.
Buford, he was without his helmet. Yeah, illegal hands to the face by Checotah.
They declined the penalty. Oh, no, they took it. Wait, made it. Maybe not. Man, you know, if I'm Coach Snyder here, I'm gonna go ahead and take that and make it 3rd and 25 instead of 4th and 10 because this Checotah offense is explosive.
Yep. So they're going to decline the penalty. You're in no man's land for a field goal. So they will. It looks like they'll go for it.
See, they had that little out called again, and that time they were in man. And 12 was trailing, and it had better coverage than they've had. Instead of the little zone they run, they gave them man on that.
And Shropshire floated the pass and was out of reach. 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. And
Oh, a pooch kick.
a little quick kick, and it's fielded at the
Gunville.
Gunville fields it at the 10.
He fielded it twice. He had to catch it twice.
Yeah, I almost brought that up because Checotah used the quick kick about 5 times against Idabel last week.
Yep, and they used it a lot in the Keys. Anytime they cross midfield, it'd be 4th down. I think it's a check with me signal. If they don't like the defense that they see, they go ahead and give them the signal to quick kick it.
Right.
But Seminole, wily old veteran that he is, that's the first snap that Gunville's been in on defense. He put him back there to receive it.
Right. So Seminole will come out, and they have the ball at the 16, 17-yard line.
Gunville's out of the game.
Gunville is
14.
out. And we have number 14 is in your backfield, and that is Deegan Angel, and pressure on Hammond. And that was
74.
Bobby Morton, defensive end.
Yeah, he comes off that right side. Tackle didn't get him.
No.
Didn't get him blocked.
I think Angel and the tackle 57, Jay Scott, they were supposed to double him, and he just split the double team.
I gotta wonder kind of what they were. I mean, I know Gunville wasn't in the game, but you're having a lot of success running the ball if you're Seminole.
A timeout by Seminole. They want to talk about this because it backs them way up in their own territory. So, and it brings up a second. So that was a 10-yard sack, Brian.
Yeah, man. Was it just 10?
So we've got a little pause in the action here. I got a new phone. It's the iPhone XS Max. And I'm not a big person on getting new phones. I'm a little scared of technology. I'll admit that. But I tell you what, we shot a haunted video yesterday because our floor in our building is haunted. So we shot a video about it yesterday, and it looks like I shot it with one of these, $5,000, $6,000 cameras that we have, and or even more expensive than that. It was beautiful, and so I was pretty impressed with it. And so far, I like it.
By the way, Eric, I would be remiss if I did not wish you and Terry a happy belated anniversary.
Well, thank you. Yep.
I was there at the wedding.
Right, best man. I appreciate that.
I even behaved myself.
Right, and
my wife was very proud of me.
Hammond tosses it out to Gunville. They had Gunville in the slot. And
yeah, they're getting creative with how where they're putting him, so
right.
Checotah can't key in on him.
So that picks him up about 5 yards. Yeah, we count our wedding years in dog years. So we've been married 3 years, so we count it as 21.
I've been married for an eon.
And I was at your wedding long ago.
An eon ago.
An eon ago.
My wife would say it's at least 2.
Empty backfield, Gunville in motion, fakes to Gunville, and looking now it's going to throw him in the flat.
Uh-oh.
How
this
he
is trouble for Checotah. Oh.
Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you what, how he caught it was beyond me because he literally caught it off his shoelaces.
Buddy, and if 40 there from Checotah doesn't get a piece of him, he's picking up a first down.
That's Bailey McIntosh.
That is a momentum-saving tackle there because if he picks up that 3rd and long off that little pass, Mr. Moe is wearing green right now.
Yes.
And Gunville he's the punter, and look at him. He's kind of sucking wind, or he's shook up or something.
I think he got spun around a little bit there. Probably messed with his noggin. 4th and 6, and Gunville's going to punt. And a straight line punt is going to die at the 50, and that's courtesy of that spongy turf. So I don't think there's a whole lot that Gunville does not do. So Checotah will take the ball over on the 46 and a half yard line. Checotah over in the huddle over here on the yard or on the numbers. And 2 wide receivers, top and bottom. Roberts is your slot man up top. Barrett is all the way on the outside down on the bottom. Fisher, your lone running back. Shropshire changes the play, shifts him over. Shropshire takes the snap. It's going to hand off to Fisher. Fisher's got some room around the left side, and he's going to pick up the
7 to 8 yards.
he may actually have the 10. But, Brian, I noticed something on that one. Chico Baker has a limp, and he's going to leave the game. While in chase, I noticed he slowed up considerably. So they're going to give him 9.5 on that one, so 2nd and inches. So we need to keep an eye on Chico Baker, who just left. 3 wide receivers on top, and Shropshire will call his own number. Wow.
Ran right into 89.
He ran right into Buford.
Give him credit, man. He bounced off of him and went right back in for more.
Yeah. He's not afraid of putting his head in there. So he'll pick up roughly 5-6 yards, give him a first down, moves the ball. Clock continues to move.
You know, when you run your quarterback like that, it adds an extra blocker into the mix, and that's in Coach Snyder's time. That's probably been one of the biggest changes. The ability.
Shropshire
nice
throws
catch.
it across the middle, and Barrett had to climb the ladder to go get it.
But continuing with that, just the use of the quarterback in the run game has changed dramatically. Coaches used to be scared to death to run their quarterback. He'd break the pocket and he'd hold his breath. And now it's just a part of your game plan.
Right. 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Shropshire, your quarterback still, with Fisher in the backfield. Seminole making adjustments to the set, and it's going to hand off to Fisher to the left side once again. Fisher contact, bounces off again, wrapped up by Buford, and I think they're going to get Buford for running his mouth a little bit. I don't know. Fisher came up fighting on that one. It may not have been Buford. It may have been 84. Who's our 84 there? That's Jared Stewart.
Yeah, that's a big defensive end. Whatever happened right there, Fisher's upset.
Well, I know he was bent over kind of awkwardly. So I'm trying to see what the official's calling here. Did ball personal foul on Seminole. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. So I don't know if it was on Stewart or Buford. They were both over there on top of Fisher. Coaches are trying to calm him down. You can see Nichols there in behind him, and I will tell you this, Brian. Nichols, the young man with the broken foot, is a very, very nice, intelligent young man, and I enjoy visiting with him before the games.
Well, even right there, he's passing on. That's what you're trying to build as a coach, is the older guys passing on knowledge to the younger guys, teaching them how we do things, how we act. And now a senior's been there, has probably had that same type of situation at some point. He's like, hey, man,
This time he's going to hand off. Nope,
No,
he'll fake it, and he'll score, but we do have a flag, and more than likely will be holding.
Yeah. I didn't catch the number, but that was rather blatant.
That was pretty blatant. We saw it up here. It was a zone read, then faked it to Collette, and Shropshire took it in. So that will back him up 10, and it's no fair. You get a 15-yard, but then you get 10, but then that 10-yarder turns into a 1st and 20. So
Yep.
you don't get to save those.
You don't get to put them on layaway.
You don't get to put them on layaway. Nope.
Can we decline that for future considerations?
Exactly. Keep that one in our pocket. So now 1st and 20. Shropshire's going to look to his right, and a low ball.
Oh, he's mad at himself too.
Yep, he had Howard open. It would have been about an 8-yard gain at least, and short hopped it.
Fisher checked back in.
Fisher back in. 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Howard on top and Barrett down here on the bottom. But it's been the slot receivers that have done some damage here in the first half. Shropshire takes a snap and immediately looks, pumps, and he's got Howard going for the end zone, lays it up, and they're going to call pass interference, and probably so. He had a hand on Howard. Nice pump and go.
They may be calling this.
I
think he interfered with him, but I think it was a lot earlier. They didn't throw the flag to the end of the play.
They called it on
offensive.
Howard. Yeah, he pulled him backwards. Nice call by the official.
There was interference on Seminole early in the deal, right at the goal line, because 88 again squatted too early. It's like I don't know if he's losing the ball in the lights or what, but he squatted early and misjudged the deal and then had to turn and get into pursuit. So now the holding and then this. If I'm Seminoles coaches right now, I'm telling my kids, know where Barrett's at. We've seen him convert. I mean, you and I alone have seen him convert 3rd and 20 against man, who they have here? Eufaula, remember? It was
right.
3rd and a mile, and he converted it. So I'd make sure I know where he's at.
So this brings up a 3rd and 10, 20, 35.
Yeah, they've got now. I thought they just slipped him in there to return a kick, but they've got Gunville back there at free safety, and he's 25 yards off the ball.
Well, he can make up some ground quickly.
3rd down.
So 3rd down. 3rd and 35. Don't have too many plays in the playbook for this one, so this may be a 2
Checotah
down.
does.
Well, that's true. And slip screen to Barrett. Barrett's got some room to run. And nice open field tackle. And
number 20 there.
That was our man Harrison.
Upended him.
But a nice play call. Looked like it was going to go for more, a slip screen.
So now you got 4th and 25.
4th and 25, and I think if you don't quick kick it, you're
almost in the position of the field where I don't know what that gains you, even if you just throw it up.
Because last time they were at the 30 and they quick kicked it, so they're at the 28 now. And he may just let it go down and take a timeout and talk about it. Looks like that's what Coach Hendricks is going to do.
4:47 on the clock.
4:46. 4:46 on the clock. I'm gonna best you by 1 second. So, hey, we want to thank the Seminole faithful that's watching us, and Adam Baker, and all the great job he does traveling with the team and doing it, and First United Mortgage. And forgive me, I know there's a realtor that we talked about last time, and I don't remember who it is. But whoever it is, remember who she is, and give her a thanks for supporting Seminole football. But go visit Adam over there at First United.
Take a commercial break when you get a second.
So, hey, Brian, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to action here in Checotah, Oklahoma.
Just in time for them to bring the play back.
There is truly no place like home. Right here.
Hurry. Nope.
Oh, there we go. That was a 15-seconder.
I don't know what happened. Just roll with it.
And they will set up for a field goal. And kicking is number 35. Linus Angel. And tees it up, and
he can return this.
He
That's
can
Gunville.
return it. Gunville's going to return it from the 1. And will nearly make it back out to the line of scrimmage.
Number 4 there on the stop.
And that was Shropshire on the stop.
He was the holder on that play, and he made the stop. Nice play, young man.
Trying to figure out, we've got a popping. Someone's thumping on a.
Eric don't acknowledge anything.
I'm hearing voices.
Your ghosts have followed you.
My ghosts have followed me down 69 highway. All right, back to action here. 4:35, and the yes. Fumble on the snap. We have a scrum, and Checotah has it. Let's look at the replay here. Just didn't get the handoff. He tried to pick it up and run with it, lost it again. That's what got him. If Gunville falls on it, it's his ball, but he tried to pick it up and go with it. When he tried to pick it up, it got knocked back out of his hands. So just like that, Checotah's back in business, and the ball spotted on the 21-yard line. Yeah, it's played just like they envisioned it, I guess. 3 wide receivers, trips to the bottom, 1 up top. Shropshire barks out, takes the snap, going to look to his right, and he has Fisher, and Fisher drops it, but I think that was a lot to do with Thunder, yeah. Just flashed right in front of Fisher. Hands off to Fisher. Fisher to the left. He's got some room. Cuts upfield. And I tell you what, he's brought down by Wirtz and Battle. But Brian, he's slowed down coming up to him. I think if he blows through him, he may score. No. You know, and nice move by Barrett to just back out of the way and not get a block in the back there. Ball will be spotted at the 11, and we have a. Oh, we're going to measure. Okay, I thought he had enough, but we're going to take a look at it here on the sticks. First down. You know, it's nothing like what we saw at Roland, because they were initiating contact on both sides of the ball for all 4 quarters at Roland. And tonight, the Seminole defense just doesn't look as aggressive and hungry as what they were. But now I understand there's some injuries there, so you've got some kids that aren't getting as, you know, they're getting more reps than what they normally do. And Battle did travel with him. So trips to the bottom, Barrett in motion, look for a jet sweep. And he fakes it, hands off to Fisher up the middle. And that jet sweep is going to come. They ran that jet sweep about 4 times last week. And it's by faking that jet sweep, it's going to come. Fisher picks up a yard, now maybe 2 yards, 1.5 yards. That's a tough call, so we'll call it a second and a long 8.
2 yards, hold the play for the Wildcats. Falls at the 8-yard line.
The ball is ball's an 8. 0 coverage up top. Shropshire's going to keep it, bounces to the left, and he's going to be swallowed up there. That was Caden Johnson. Well, and even saying that they only have a 4-point lead, so.
1 yard gain on the play for down 7. Ball's at the 8-yard line.
One of our 8-man game scores. So 3rd and 9. Checotah's looking for the signal. And I believe they're going to call a timeout and talk about it once again. This will be their 3rd and final timeout. So, folks, if you have not, we are going to take a quick commercial break, Brian, and we'll be right back to action here on Bravado TV.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines. Because we live where you live. Visit BravadoWireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
We're back to action to Checotah, Oklahoma. Seminole visiting Checotah. And a very interesting score. Idabel 37, Stigler 22 final. Yes, sir. And Locust Grove is still beating Cassia, and we're taking a look at that because it's on the opposite. And Shropshire runs for his life. He's got a man open and right through his hands, and that was Barrett.
Shropshire pass intended for number 3, Jacob Barrett. He'll finally complete 3-minute 4th down.
This will bring in the kicking unit. Again, kicking for the Wildcats is Lioness Angel. I think those are actually pink. And kick is up, and they are good. Or it is good, rather. So that'll push it to a 7-point lead, 21-14. Right. Well, you remember Chico Baker went off limping earlier, and Baker's your safety. And I think it's, I think those injuries are really taking its toll all across the board. So let's see if Checotah decides to onside it like they've done the last 3 kicks. The score 21-14 in favor of the Wildcats. This game has huge playoff or district implications, district positioning and playoffs down the road. And kicks it away, and looks like it will be, well, I thought he called a fair catch. And still running around. That's Chico Baker finally taken down. I think he did, and was finally taken down at about the 30. I have seen some nice sportsmanship going back and forth between these two teams. I believe Johnson was the one that's been matched up on Colin Roberts in the slot quite a bit. And the Chieftain offense rolls out on the field, and they will run 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Shotgun ace formation, man in motion, that's Battles. Battles behind, and Going to flip it out to Battles in the flat. Immediately Shropshire's there. So nice read by Shropshire.
Number 10 sitting on Battles and Shropshire defending on the play and making the tackle. Pick up a 2 yards on the play. Ball's at the 33-yard line. Second down, 8.
So Battles, bottom of your screen. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Gunville, the running back, next to Hammond. Hammond drops back, looking to his left. Chunks it over, and he's got a wide receiver open. And that was Wirtz. Easton Wirtz. Another Wirtz. Easton Wirtz, sophomore. Another Wirtz, a pass to Wirtz. Matt makes it a first down. Slot wide receiver. Well, he's listed as slot, but he was outside. Now we have a slot wide receiver there. 2 on the bottom, 1 on top. Pistol formation. Is going to hand off to Gunville. Gunville up the middle, and man, look at this kid run. Holy cow. 6 yards straight up the gut, bouncing off of blue jerseys. So this will bring up a 2nd and 3, so a 7-yard gain for Gunville. Hammond back to pass, looking deep. He's got a man, he's got a step, and that's going to be interesting because it looks like he pushed off of Howard. Did Howard have hold of him? And that was Wirtz. So 1 minute, 1 second left in the second quarter, or yes, in the second quarter. And let's see, no call yet. Holding, and it will be called on Howard. So,
Holding call against the Wildcats. Billy will be marked off the spot off the
right. Wirtz was ahead of him, and Howard was beat. So that's not actually a horrible penalty. So it's only a 10-yard loss versus a 25-yard or a touchdown. Three wide receivers on the bottom. Wirtz is your inside slot, and now we have a, do we have a timeout? Okay. So Tripp's on the bottom. Wirtz is your inside receiver there. Battles is your outside. Gunville is stretching in the backfield, so keep an eye on that. Man in motion, off balance. This will cover up. So Battles' pass was high, and Battles unable to pull it down. And incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Brian, almost looks like Battles is cramping a little bit. Not Gunville, excuse me, Gunville. And maybe that's it. Maybe the shoes just come off. Maybe that's what he was bending down in the backfield earlier, was trying to fix his shoe. So now we'll have a tight formation, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. And handoff to Gunville down on the left side. He's got some room and bounces to the left. He's on the sideline. Going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. And by the time you notice he has the ball, he's so quick, he's in the 2nd level. 2 wide receivers on the bottom, up top, man in motion or a little motion around the quarterback. Hands off to Gunville up the middle, touchdown. And just like that, we've got a tie ball game. Well, not yet. Extra point has to be coming. Nice play call right there. Strapping on the back of Gunville. Golly, that is something you see on the PlayStation. You know, we said it when we covered him at Roland. I'm very impressed with Gunville, and he is putting on a nice show tonight. Right. And kick is no good. Look at that, Carmen coming back on me. So 21-20, Wildcats still have a 1-point lead. Right. So it would be interesting to see what they come out. Nice camera work there, our sideline cam there. Yes, so. See how they plan the kickoff here. If they do a deep, kind of a deep pooch kick like they've done recently. And it's a squib kick, and it's going to be covered up at the 37-yard line. And that was recovered there by number 40, Bailey McIntosh. Most definitely. Certainly nothing to go in the locker room and hold your heads low on. And he's playing way back there. And going to hand off to Fisher. Fisher up the middle. And going to be an 8-yard gain. Right. Yeah, he's got a hitch in his hip or knee. Right, and no, unfortunately, it doesn't. My legs have shrunk a little bit. It doesn't fit anymore. And nice throw to Howard. Howard's still trying to get yardage. He'll get the first down. That'll stop the clock. So the clock will stop at 7 seconds. And they have to hurry up. Let's see if he does a spike. That's what he's calling. He's calling for a spike. And he'll spike the ball, so that will give them 5 seconds in the first half. Right at, ball's at the 47. I would think Barrett is your main target. And nope, he hands off to Fisher. Fisher's got some room to run. He's in the middle of the field and caught from behind. What a big play by our man Stewart. Made some big plays. So that will do it for our first half of play. And the Checotah Wildcats holding on, 1-point lead, 21-20. And we will we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in a few minutes to talk about more of the game at halftime. So enjoy the bands at halftime, and Brian and I'll be back in just a few minutes.
You
are called to be bold. You have a right to the best wireless service, high-speed internet, and customer service at a price you can feel good about. At Bravado Wireless, we know this, and that's why we put you and your community first. We are owned and operated right here in Eastern Oklahoma. We live where you live. We proudly connect you to your family, friends, and business partners wherever they are. Dallas, Seattle, Taipei, Toronto, and anywhere else in the world. We are Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Welcome back to Checotah, Oklahoma. Checotah Wildcats are leading the Seminole Chieftains 21-20. And you can see our stats there. Yeah, 121 yards rushing for Seminole. Actually, I thought they had a little bit more. But look at the passing numbers, 226. Turnovers, 1 each. I would. Gunville and Fisher, and yeah, Gunville's putting up some.
Visit one of the Bravado Wireless stores for amazing deals. Go bold, go Bravado.
He's Gunville's at north and south, goalpost to goalpost. You I wouldn't disagree with that. But what's kind of shocking is with the much more yards that Checotah has, they only have a 1-point lead. And I think a lot of that was wasted on the 3 2-point conversion attempts, to which they did not convert. And then they got deep into Seminole territory and then racked up 30 yards in penalties. So
As we begin the second half of play,
right.
Wildcats kicking with the Chieftains. Andrew Giannis,
Right.
Checotah.
So certainly not, I'm sure both coaches had some things to say. And I would guess probably Coach Hendricks for Checotah probably said, we have got to finish, guys. And a pooch kick right there is going to be fielded by, that's Joey Harrison. Hey, and an interesting score we touched on, well, actually we didn't get to talk about it at halftime, was Idabel beat Stigler. So, yes, and boy, that just really makes this even a more interesting game and more pressing for Seminole. Right. Battles in motion. Hammond, your quarterback. Gunville, your running back. 3 wide receivers now to the top. He's going to hand off to Gunville straight at the hole. And nearly got caught in the backfield, but nice move.
As nice a move as that was, the guy that he spun off of held on to him, and he didn't get many more yards after that nice spin.
Well, Lackey had him in the backfield, the big number 77 defensive tackle, and just couldn't get his big paws on him. Gunville picks up 5, 2 on top, and battles in motion again. Comes right in front of the Hammond, the quarterback. Bad snap, and picked up by Gunville. Wow. That is a top-notch move by Gunville.
Buddy, the recognition, the time from recognition to covering that fumble was instant.
That was a nice move.
Because I was watching it on the screen so I could get a better view, and I thought the quarterback was going to pick it up, and man, Gunville came out of nowhere, shot out of a cannon.
That could be our play of the game right there. 3rd and inches now. Hard count, no one moves. Hammond looks over the sideline, takes another signal, and he'll walk up to the line, change the play. Moves Gunville to his left.
Picks his mouthpiece up.
Right, and it'll be a quarterback draw, or quarterback lead, excuse me, over the left side. Picks up about 6 yards. Nice play call. And I believe it's the first time Hammond ran the ball.
Yeah, on a design carry, for sure.
So first down for Seminole, and they have come out of the locker room a little more up-tempo than what they had been.
Yep.
2 wide receivers up top, pistol formation. Going to hand off to Gunville. Gunville going to stutter step, jump back into the inside. Wasn't a whole lot there.
You know, for all the offensive fireworks in the first quarter, the second quarter kind of settled into a defensive struggle.
Yes.
The score in the second quarter was 6-3 because it was 18-14 after one. So both defenses wanted to remind us that they are, in fact, in the game. They emptied the backfield out here.
5 wide receiver, and Hammond launches it, but he was under duress. He had
and let me tell you, it's a good thing he threw that out because 21 undercut that route and was looking to take it to the house.
So that will bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Chieftains. 3 wide receiver set, 2 on top. Excuse me, 2 wide receiver. Man in motion is Battles. Battles is going to get the ball faked to, and Hammond will pick up a yard, maybe 2.
So we got 4th and 5.
So that'll bring up 4th and 5, and in a curious territory here. Let's see what the Chieftains opt to do, and they send in different personnel.
And they brought Gunville back in, and then, man, that's curious. They're splitting him out. Let's see what.
Splitting him out, almost a bunch set, and now he will, in motion, go out to a wide receiver, and they had something up their sleeve, and Battles jumped, so that'll bring them to a 4th and 10, and a punt team will now come out.
Well, hello, Ford pickup.
Ford pickup with lots of lights.
And a train horn.
Gotta love the, gotta have a big alternator on that one.
Muffler.
Barrett is back to receive. Gunville will punt, and it's a just a line drive. Barrett backs off of it. So nice punt by the Seminoles. Going to trap them down nearly inside the 10. Will be on the 11-yard line.
This is the worst starting field position for either team tonight.
Yes, you are correct on that. So a 1st and 10 from the 11.
See what kind of adjustments have been made on the Checotah side of things here.
It'll be interesting to see if they try to get Fisher on the edge a little more with some quick passes.
They really like those wheel routes, either out of the slot or out of the backfield.
4 wide receiver set, 3 on the bottom. Fisher is in the backfield with Shropshire, offset to his right. Shropshire will hand it to Fisher, run to the left, and it's going to get swallowed up there at the 10-yard line, so will be a loss. Swallowed up by
88, starting corner.
Justin Hamilton.
Yep, Justin Hamilton.
So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. 4 wide receiver, 2 top, 2 bottom.
They've spread them out here. They're trying to get the numbers in the box right. There's the run, little counter.
Yep. And Fisher's going to bounce out to the left. Got some more room to run and might be close to a first down. And it will be a 14-yard gain for Fisher. Folks, don't forget to check out our Bravado Wireless store in Seminole. If you're listening from the Seminole area, go by and tell them the media team sent you in there. We have some amazing phone deals, and we have $40 talk, text, data, all unlimited. $40, no gimmicks. 3 wide receivers on top. Going to hand off to, nope, Shropshire's going to keep it to the right side. He's got some blockers out front. Scoots back and will pick up about 9 yards.
That was a old Redskins play, a counter tray look, because they pulled both guard and tackle.
We
to
have a
lead Fisher out.
We have a flag on the play. In 74, Bobby Morton for Checotah was down, face down on the ground. And I don't know what happened. Personal foul. I don't know what that motion is.
That's odd. It was a personal foul, 15-yard penalty of some kind, and they called it a dead ball foul.
Shropshire carried the ball, and then a personal foul penalty. I don't know what the two hands coming together.
Yeah, I'm
not sure what that is.
Helmet to helmet, maybe. I don't know.
It might have been leading with the head,
but it wasn't on the tackle. It was on the blocker.
It was on. It was way away from the ball, so I don't know. So here we go, first down. And handoff Fisher straight up the guts, going to pick up 2 yards at the most, a big scrum. But as I was saying before I got interrupted by the flag, was check out our Seminole store. We have a $40 talk, text, data, unlimited plan, and
no gimmicks.
No gimmicks. Won't rust, bust, or make the baby cry. We won't backdoor you. We won't make up stuff. It's $40, and you have nationwide coverage because we're awesome. 4 wide receivers. Shropshire is going to roll out to his left. Dumps it short to Barrett. Barrett trying to find some room to run, and I don't know how he didn't lose his hip on that one.
He's not getting up right away either. That's the second time he's come up really, really limping.
And he is now down on the ground. Yeah, he took a shot.
He asked for a sub and then tried to come off the field and had to stop.
And this will bring up a 3rd and a long 1 as they tend to Barrett on the field. But we have a store in Seminole, and we have stores in Seminole, McAllister, Idabel, Hugo, Valiant, 2 in Muskogee, and 1 in Tahlequah. And then we have what is called a Connect store here in Checotah and Stigler. So go check that out. And we have many stores coming down the pipe because we're expanding into Arkansas and North Texas. So, Brian, we could be calling some football in Arkansas and North Texas.
Well, they say football's kingier in Texas.
I'm kind of excited to branch out that way. Not excited about the drive, but I'm excited about getting down there.
No, I heard tell that they're going to chopper us in.
Chopper. I don't know about Chopper. And Shropshire's going to call his own number. He's got some room to run around the left side. Wow, how he got out of that, I don't know. Because I thought someone got hold of his face mask for a second.
The defensive end blew up that play where Shropshire was trying to go, and he put on the brakes and bounced it out a little bit and got outside of the contain. Barrett's checked back in now.
So nice job by Shropshire to get himself free.
Stewart, the defensive end, is creating havoc on that side of the line, man.
Brings up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. You see the Wildcats checking signals here. 3 wide receivers up top, 1 on the bottom. Fisher in the backfield with Shropshire. Shropshire takes a snap. Going to hand off to Fisher. I tell you what, they are some very sure tacklers.
Yeah.
And that was Derek Well, defensive end for the Seminole Chieftains. Conley checks in for the Chieftains.
We got a nice sustained drive going here for Checotah, burning some clock.
Shropshire whistle blows, so probably must be a illegal motion or false start. Dead ball, false start, offense.
So now we got to bring up a 2nd and 10, wipes out that 5-yard run.
Yep, so it's going to make it a 2nd and 11.
Boy,
So-
that's just barely 11. Just barely.
Barely.
Sounds better if you say it like that, barely.
Sounded like one of them Arkansas people.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm just getting into character.
Yeah, I'm just taking a dig at our old boy Nate there.
Uh-oh.
And Shropshire run for his life, run out to the right. Smart decision, dumps it at the feet of Collins.
Buford was hot on his trail, man.
Buford was,
Dare I
he
say,
was hot in pursuit.
Buford T. Justice?
I knew that's where we were going. I tell you what, there's a shot of Barrett right there, 129 yards receiving so far, 1 touchdown. Buford and I tell you what, Stewart, they have been in the backfield for the Wildcats all night long.
Yep.
So 4 wide receivers, 2 top, 2 bottom. Shropshire.
Oh, he's coming on.
And
Oh,
they got
there
a
he goes.
blitz,
They got him
and
now.
they've got him
Yeah.
in the backfield.
They just threw a flag on.
They got
this is getting ugly. I think the Checotah coach felt like that was maybe a little bit after the whistle.
Well,
We'll take a
here's-
look at it here.
Here's the replay. It was Buford and I think Stewart. Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, that should have been a unsportsmanlike penalty. I'm sorry, Seminole faithful, but when you can't lead with the elbow to the back of the kid's neck.
Yeah. And I think the reaction there,
Here it is in slow motion. You can watch it here.
you'll see here in slow motion, Checotah's coach will come undone. You watch his reaction here. He comes, when he sees that, watch him come sprinting
Wow.
out. Yeah, man, he was not happy with that.
Ball's at the 43-yard line, pull down 22.
So
Yeah.
added on to the 8-yard sack, you got 15 more yards, unsportsmanlike, and now we're looking at the punt team.
I don't think they tacked on 15 yards. I think they gave him a sideline warning. So punt team comes out. And boy, that was sound like he kicked a rock. And going to bounce dead at the 23-yard line. So yeah, kind of a weird set of events there.
Yeah.
You know, and I would bet that who was that came in with the elbow there?
21.
Johnson. I would bet if he saw that, he would say, that's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to kind of pile on top of him. I don't think he intentionally threw an elbow in the back of his neck.
Yeah. You know, I bet you this game in the first quarter wasn't what Coach Snyder wanted to see. I think the last 2 quarters, you know, have settled back into the kind of football he wants to see. That's a lateral.
Lateral out to Battles.
Good. Shropshire's been on that little orbit motion toss out all night long. He's coming downhill on that.
You know, what's funny is, of course, they didn't throw the ball much, but we didn't see plays like that. They just, but, you know, again, the weather dictated what we saw.
Yeah. They may try and get him getting a little nosy the next time on that.
So 2nd and 10, man in motion. Hammond calls out the signal. He's going to take snap. He's going to roll to his right, looking downhill.
open.
He's got a man wide open, and that is Wetz. And Wirtz, excuse me.
He turned it. If he would have just kept turning out to the outside, he had 2 or 3 more yards.
But that'll pick him up barely 1. We'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
You know, I'm not a football genius, but I've got to wonder how it is. We've only scored 6 points in 2 quarters, and my man Gunville's got 130-something yards and only 11 carries.
Right. And pass was too high for Wirtz. He wants a flag, but he's not going to get it.
Yeah, he's
Ball
not
was
getting it.
ball was too high, and there wasn't enough contact to do anything with. And this will bring out the punt team for Seminole.
I mean, this is Gunville's not getting a touch on this until it's 4th down, and he's punting it. You know, I wonder. I wish we could get a close-up of Snyder. Maybe he's in his offensive coordinator ear saying, "Hey, remember that guy?"
21-20, still our score, and Seminole having some substitution issues.
Boy, you needed that guy. He's the center.
Kind of an important part of that. Nice punt. Barrett will attempt to field. Did he touch it? Well, Barrett says he didn't touch it, and the officials say he did touch it. So let's look at our replay to see if he
His
touches
back's
it.
to us, so I don't know if we're going to get a definitive look.
Oh, that's not it right there. That's the sack.
I don't know. I think he may have led with the elbow. His back was to us, so I think even if we had a replay, I don't know that we would have got a definitive look. And the ref that called it
Was behind him.
yes. So I'm wondering if another ref had a better view of it that may. And I don't know whether he touched it or not.
Well, it didn't really change trajectory, but that doesn't mean he didn't touch it.
No, and the other thing, a lot of times kids will tell on themselves, like he didn't even try to cover it. Got a personal.
Okay, I'm a little lost here, Brian.
Yeah. That's folks at home, I wish we had a better explanation for you. Maybe guys smarter than Eric and I would know what's going on, but that was confusing at best. Dumbfounding.
Yeah, personal foul, and then I don't even know where the personal foul came from.
And, you know, in high school, you don't have the replay ability. Let's see if Seminole can capitalize on it. Because what I was saying about that, he didn't even try to go for it. Like,
Right.
you know, sometimes kids will tell on themselves.
Hammond looks to pass, looking to his left. He's got a man going down the sideline, and they're going to call Hammond for, Howard for pass interference. And we get to look at this one on replay.
Oh, yeah, that's a hold there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's interference. What do they call it in the pros? Illegal contact or something?
Illegal contact. I mean, he was digging his helmet into him, so.
Yeah. He created contact. I don't know if it's pass interference or it's probably illegal contact. That's one of those deals where they got the name of the call wrong, but in truth, that was a good call.
On the intent, but I tell you what, Checotah is racking up all kinds of penalties.
And I think Checotah's fine. As long as they're not turning around and handing the 28, I think they're fine with that.
Battle's in motion. Low snap's going to hand it off to Gunville.
I think we're going to get a hold there.
And Gunville straight up the gut, and we've got two flags on the play. So all of a sudden now we have a flag fest. So we'll try to see what this one is.
Chop block.
Chop block called on Seminole, so that's
Legal hands to the face. Ooh.
So those are 15-yard variety. So does Checotah pick one or get both? I don't know on this one.
Whichever one's a spot foul is what they're going to accept.
So that would be the chop block. And chop blocks when you're engaged in somebody with somebody up high, and then another player hits them in the legs. And so you're not allowed to do that. So the chop block is declined, but the hands to the face is accepted.
So after all that, we're back to I don't think the officials got the memo that this was going to be a good game coming out of halftime, because their halftime adjustments have been less than stellar.
The officials, right. So this brings up first and, what are we, first and 18?
Yeah.
First down 17.
And so they're trying to get the clock situated. And 3:51 is what they're saying to put back on the clock. Ball on the 40-yard line of the Wildcats. Seminoles have the ball. They are down by 1, 21-20. And we're recipients of a muffed punt return.
Alleged?
An alleged. Well, they convicted him, so he was guilty of it.
We're not going to convict anybody.
Right. 3 wide receivers in a trips formation. Man in motion is Wirtz. Fake the handoff to Wirtz and to Gunville. And Hammond running for his life is going to be sacked. Holy cow. And look at that. The freshman Fisher comes from his outside linebacker spot. Watch this on replay. And Fisher chases him down. Doesn't get sucked inside. Wow, that's a fantastic defensive play right there.
And Hammond is a senior. I think he's got to turn loose of that ball. Throw it.
I wasn't looking downfield to see if he had even.
Just throw it close to somebody out of bounds. He's rolling this way.
I almost thought it was going to be a throwback because all the motion was heading up to the left side.
And again, I think Checotah is good as long as they're not handing the ball to 28.
Blitz coming. And Fisher on the outside,
now
Gunville, and Gunville
this.
Down the sideline. He's down the left. No one's going to touch him. And touchdown, a 52-yard catch and run. Gunville, wow. I thought Fisher had him, and Fisher couldn't keep up with him. Goodness gracious, he hit that second gear, and he was gone.
Hey, and I want to give kudos. I think that was Barrett there at the end. He could have held on to that horse collar, but he let go as soon as he realized that they were that close to the end zone. I think he had the awareness to pull off that.
So the Seminole Chieftains will line up for an extra point. Nope, they will line up for 2, pistol formation. Gunville in the backfield with Hammond. Couple tight ends, man in motion. And they're going to pitch it out to Gunville. Gunville drops it and recovered by Shropshire. So I think Gunville was gassed right there.
Yeah, he's played a lot of snaps, but
so instead of a 28-21, it is a 26-21 advantage.
this is the second time that they've been in the lead.
Coach Snyder's not very happy with Gunville. Tell you what, I don't know how he could be too unhappy with him. Gunville's been their offense, you know.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I don't know that they've used him enough. You know, and that's just one man's opinion.
Seminole will set to kick it off. They are up by 5 points, 26-21, with 2:48 to go in the third quarter.
Short kickoff again.
And Bailey McIntosh.
It's the second time he's fielded it.
Ball's at the 39-yard line, first tail Wildcats.
The Checotah Wildcats will take the ball over at the 38-yard line. Checotah comes out, trips on the bottom, one on top. Shropshire and Fisher in the backfield.
It's been a long time since the Checotah offense has been on the field.
Gonna hand
Got
off.
a reverse.
And a reverse. Howard's gonna take it around the right side. He tries to bounce it back inside, he does. And
he got 5 yards, and we got a flag out here on this side.
5 yards with 55 yards of running. And let's see if we can see what the flag was about. It was Fisher. Oh yeah, that's your man number 21, Caden Johnson. I'm beginning to think maybe Johnson did throw the elbow on purpose because he tried to take Fisher's head off. So personal foul on the Chieftains, and that was Caden Johnson tried to take Fisher's head off after he had pitched the ball back to Howard.
That was, Fisher got that pitch off, and he had Johnson on him already.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, the young man is strong.
That will push the ball over midfield. So the Checotah Wildcats now have it at the 44-yard line of Seminole. 3 wide receivers on the bottom. Shropshire looks it over, takes a snap, hands off to Fisher. Fisher bounced to the left, through one-arm tackle. Now he's up in the third level, and they're going to wrestle him out of bounds.
Oh, we got another one.
And they're roughing up Fisher quite a bit. Flags are flying, so it'll be interesting to see if they throw it on Fisher or if they throw it on Seminole. Let's watch our replay here. Fisher does a good job of getting out of the arm tackle of, can't see who that was.
Personal foul on the Wildcats, so they called that on Checotah.
Now I don't know if they got Fisher
or somebody random on the
right on the sideline or something.
And Fisher's a young player, man. You know that's going to be things that he learns with time. I think the Checotah coaching staff is wondering what's going on because I think they certainly feel like they've got the wrong end of some "you ain't from around here" calls on their own home field. You know.
I kind of get that as well. And the head official is talking to Shropshire.
They have not moved the chains yet.
And it's a dead ball, so the first down, that means first down was already established.
Yeah.
And officials are talking to both teams saying, you guys need to cool it.
Hey.
So it should be 1st and 10 at the 36 or 37 right there.
I don't think that Checotah should be complaining too much because they show 1st down and 3. I think they'd take that.
Yeah, we can take. I'm sure they'll take a 1st and 3. Three wide receivers on the bottom. Now I think they caught their mistake.
We've got some armchair quarterbacks in the booth next to us.
They're trying. I would say the delay of game has affected the officials. So you can see Coach Snyder out there, I think, trying to explain to him.
He's kind of incredulous with this explanation. Do you see the way he's looking at him?
Yeah, even the players are trying to figure it out.
Checotah's got to figure out a way to get their offense in gear.
Now they get the chains moved.
I mean, we're almost through the third quarter, and they've only kicked a field goal. So we're
all right, so that's what I thought. Dead ball, because it was a dead ball foul. They moved the ball back, but it remains first down and 10. So the ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. 36, 37. First and 10 for the Wildcats. Shropshire in the backfield with Fisher. Fisher goes out, and they're going to throw it deep, and they've got Barrett, and Barrett a catch and touchdown. So, wow.
I don't think you can go cover zero with him.
I don't think so. If you watch up top, he just flat out runs. Oh, he gave him a little inside okey doke, and
he's been running those posts all night long. He went to a post go on that, and Battle fell for it.
I don't think Battle. I don't think he's the cover man.
I just don't think you can cover him at this level one-on-one. I think you're always going to have somebody bracketing him.
Wildcats will go for two, set it for two. Man in motion. And it will be just a straight quarterback dive and does not get in. So Shropshire's trying to make the case saying he wasn't down, but he was on the ground.
Yeah.
So that will push the score.
27-26. Big E, we've got a ball game.
1 point ball game, 27-26. And the Wildcats are up.
About 2:20, 2:25.
2:18 left in the quarter. So 2:18, 27-26 the score. Wildcats are up. And this is way past my bedtime.
Brother, it was past my bedtime about kickoff.
Yeah. So Barrett has 163 yards receiving as our crackpot stat crew in the trailer says. Let's see if Checotah deploys the onside kick. Trying to see who that was.
Chico Baker.
That was Baker that took the kickoff.
They set up shop at the 46. It's like in this game, 30 is bad field position.
Pretty much, Seminoles had very solid field position all night long.
I think both of them have. Checotah started that last drive from the 11, but other than that, it's been between the 30s, you know.
So right on the 44-yard line in Seminole territory, they take the ball over. So yeah, they've had good field position all night long.
Coach Snyder's got to be a little bit disappointed in his defense because both times that they've been able to get the lead, they've given it right back on the very next drive.
Right. 4 wide receivers now as Gunville slips in the slot, and he's going to run just a post, and he's open, and
that was a miscommunication. Gunville ran a post, and he threw a go.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Battles over here or Gunville that was supposed to be moved over a little bit.
Second down.
I just continue on first down. I don't know why you don't get those quick yards to Gunville.
The 5 yards Gunville's going to give you exactly. And makes a connection to the far side.
That's number 20 there.
That is
You got a Wildcat slow getting up. 74. Ooh, he chased that from ways off. Is that our guy Morton?
Joey Harrison was recipient on that catch.
The right defensive end there, 74, 8 yards
Bobby
downfield,
Morton.
making that tackle.
3rd and 4, going to give it to Gunville this time. Gunville up the gut for, man, about 3.5 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and about a foot.
Yeah, it's a good one.
4th and 1 the call, and an extra tight end coming in for.
I bet you we're going to see some run blitzes from Checotah on this.
And I bet it's going to.
Here comes that little sweep. They motion him out. He's going to bounce it out, just like he did in the first half.
He sure did. Hits a hole fast, and look at him go. Runs over Howard.
They were in that flex bone set, and they motioned the tight end to the strong side of the formation to give us seal right there. That's the second time we've seen that. And all good. The blocking, all he needs is a crease. He doesn't need much because he's in it. He sees it. He's through it, and he's into the second level. That's a offensive lineman's dream, man.
Well, the middle linebacker, Bailey McIntosh, before he even knew I hit him, he was past him.
Yeah.
I'm almost to the opinion you just keep running that play till they stop it.
Yeah. Seminole comes out in a pistol set here.
Pistol set, tight end, tight formation. Gonna hand off. Nope, he'll fake it, and Hammond's looking deep. He's got a man, but into triple coverage.
Checotah's got too much speed. He put too much air under that ball because he was open for a split second. If he'd have been able to put less air under it, throw it on a rope. But Checotah's celebrating a lead, or Seminole.
2nd and 10. Pistol set formation. 2 wide receivers down the bottom. That's Wirtz and Battles. Going to hand off. And finally, the Wildcats find Gunville in the backfield. I think that's the first time Gunville's been tackled for a loss.
I know it's the first time I've ever seen him tackle for a loss. We got 3rd and 11 here.
3rd and 13.
Yep.
3rd and 13, and
the refs are, oh, they subbed off Morton.
I believe Morton was holding his face.
Hey, wait, young man, you got to come off the field.
I don't think he knows where he's at. He just wandered back on the field. They pulled him back off. Pistol set. Tight formation, got to hand it off. Nope, fake it to Gunville. Hammond looking deep. No, he's looking for Gunville. Gunville wide open. Holy cow. And Howard's going to bring him down. And did you see him shift in midair to catch that ball?
And then after he hit the ground, he put his foot in it and made that. Watch this cut. Whoop!
Man.
Man, you could have called a horse collar there.
It took all Howard could do just to pull him down.
If I'm Coach Snyder right now, I'm going to my coaching staff and saying, hey, I do not want Gunville in on any more defensive plays.
First,
we're going to give him the ball the rest of the game.
That will end the 3rd quarter as the Seminole Chieftains will have 1st and goal at the, I believe it's the 3. Nope, on the 2, excuse me.
We'll switch ends of the field here and get ready for a 4th quarter. with the game in the balance.
Tell you what, we've got a game. It took us 8 weeks, Brian, and we got you a game.
It took me 1 week longer than it took you.
Right. 27-26 is the score now. Folks from Seminole, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching us. And Adam Baker and company that do a fantastic job bringing you the weekly Seminole Chieftains. Be sure and let them know how much you do appreciate them.
Stop by the store there in Seminole and check out this new phone of Eric's.
I tell you what, it is an amazing phone. But yeah, check out, stop by our Seminole store. And got lots of nice people. You know, we're pretty blessed. We got nice people at all our stores. I haven't found one I didn't like.
The question is, would they say the same thing about you?
Probably not. No, probably not. I don't know. I'm pretty good about getting them T-shirts, so I try to hook them up as much as I can.
And the rest continue to talk to the players a lot between the plays. So
I think they're aware of.
it's gotten a little chippy.
Yep. So 1st and goal, the ball is on the 2-yard line.
Pistol set.
Pistol set, kind of set up like an I formation. Going to hand off to Gunville. Gunville will step in nearly uncontested.
Is that his 4th or 5th touchdown, Eric? I'm going to say he scored every one of Seminole, so it's got to be his 5th.
I believe he has.
Buddy, he's a load, man.
You know, he's very deceiving.
I would say this. He looks good in green, MSU coaches. And they hurry back to the line, ran the exact same play, and hurry up for 2. That's some good coaching. They sprinted right back to the line, the formation, lined up for the 2-point conversion, and ran the exact same play.
Right, and that was probably called in the quarter, in between quarters there.
You know, that may have been a deal that said, hey, this is the play we're going to run. We're either going to score on this play and the 2-point conversion, or it's going to be their ball inside the 5. But all Gunville does is need a crease. But what I was saying is he looks awful good in green, NSU coaches. I'm just saying.
Right. So the score stands at 34.
27?
34-27.
That's a huge 2-point conversion now.
That's big.
Yep. Now let's see if Coach Schneider and his defensive staff can get a stop here. And then on the other side, Checotah's offense is back under the gun. And if you talk to the Checotah coaching staff, if they had to choose one side of the ball with the game and the balance, I'd be willing to bet they're going to take their chances with Shropshire, Barrett, and Fisher.
Oh, most definitely. And deep kick will be fielded by Barrett. Barrett looking for a crease. Going to back up and will lose yardage. Trying to make something happen there.
24 got a hold of him and was not letting go. Seth Factor was definitely a factor in that play.
Yeah, Seth was not going to let go of Barrett there. Wildcats will have the ball at the